I look good in this lighting.
All right, here we go. I got a little intro.
There once was a pod that was dumb as fuck. They talked about their dicks and their own butts. If you know nobody else, stay away. Welcome to Dumb Every Day. Soon, man, the pod will start. They'll say dumb shit and probably farts. One day the pod will play. Welcome to Dumb Every Day. Arrgh.
Hey, everybody. This is another episode of Dumber Everyday Podcast. You know this familiar voice. It is LLOYD, a.k.a. The Thick Slugger. We are in Toxicity Studios today, joined by my co-host, Gabriel, a.k.a. The Spaceman, a.k.a. The Lizard King. Oh. And we have a special one for you today. We have the legend himself, the SDR podcast and host, and I believe I haven't listened to it, but Good Sugar podcast host, the one and the only Ralph Sutton. Ralph, how you doing today?
You guys really talk about your own dicks and butts? You talk about your butts? That seems weird.
Oh no, we talk about everything.
It's
man.
all our misadventures and failures. Basically, we made a whole podcast about it.
About your butts? How many misadventures with your butts?
You'd be surprised. We have quite a bit.
I shit my pants once. I talked about that not long ago. I shit my pants walking home. First time in my adult life that I just flat out shit my pants to a tremendous amount of it. It was. What
were you eating?
Were you sick?
I know I ate some bad fish and I knew it was bad. And as I was walking home, like during COVID times, and like 2 or 3 bathrooms were closed and as I walked up my block, I mumbled to myself, I guess this is happening. And I just fucking blew out my pants. It was horrible. It was a really horrible experience.
How long of a walk did you have to do?
At least, thank God. First of all, I was wearing shorts. And the only reason why the shit did not go everywhere was that I was wearing these dumb shorts that had like cuffs, like, elastic bottoms that kind of acted as like a stopper.
Yeah.
So the shit didn't go completely everywhere. But it was only about a block walk, thank God, when it finally came out.
Oh, man. I've only shit myself, I think, twice as like an adult. Mm-hmm. And both times I was sick. And the last time was actually 2 weeks ago.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah. Oh, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yesterday, I do a little bit of jiu-jitsu, and then, people put the pressure on you, and man, something came out of my body that smelled so bad. And I felt,
so you shit yourself in the ring? No,
I was doing some rolling with some friends, and that's what I mean. Someone stacked me and pressed my stomach, and the pressure is a little bit too much, and that's kind of embarrassing, but I let it out, and it killed the room, man. I was.
Were they talking about it?
Dude. I had like 8 hours earlier because I'm doing trying to do like intermittent or whatever, trying to lose some weight. Ralph, you started running, right? That was your big thing.
I lost like 70 pounds already, I think, at this point. But I was always relatively in the same weight since I turned 30 right? till like 25, let's say, to 44. Give or take 5 or 6 pounds, I was roughly the same weight. Then my father passed away and I got depressed and I started eating and I gained, I don't even know what my maximum density was. I saw 320 at one point, but I'm 6'6", so I should be like 235, 240, something like that. I'm a big dude, but I went to 320 plus. And now last time I looked at the scale, I was like 257, 258. So I'm nearing where I used to be. I'm about 20 pounds shy of being back to not being a
You
fat
remember
slob.
like the night before you started running, like the motivation, like what was the day of? You're like,
man,
I'll put shoes on
so,
and do this thing.
First of all, and I hate to quote this person because it's such a weird person to quote, but I don't know if I'm sure you know her. You guys are young, famous singer chick, pretty Dua Lipa. You know who that is, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So the story I'll give you is, this has nothing to do with me, but it's just a relatable story. She did some stupid dance move somewhere and everybody made fun of her. Like it was a barrage of saying she couldn't dance. Yeah. And she decided to use that humiliation where she hired a dance instructor. She got great at dancing. And now when she performs, she knows how to dance, but she still performs her one shitty move as a joke because she was so bad at dancing. And she came out online and said, sometimes bullying works. And what happened with me was there was an episode of SDR a little over 2 years ago where I tried to do a pull-up and I couldn't do one anymore. And there was an angle of me from the side where you saw my belly hanging over my pants And I got a barrage of emails and tweets and DMs calling me a fat fuck, beige Shrek, fatty Frankenstein, whatever the fuck. And that was the motivation. Like, I looked at it, I'm like, yeah, I am fucking fat. So that was the day I said, I got to make a change. And I started doing it. It was 2 years ago. And there's a quote from the Good Sugar podcast. The guy said, which I could not agree with more, is the why should make you cry. Meaning, if the reason why you want to lose weight is I just don't want to be fat or I want to look good with my shirt off, that's not going to stick. That's not going to stay. If it's I want to feel better, I want to feel stronger, I don't want to have problems sleeping anymore, blah, 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 that you can relate to and that will stick with you. And that's what's been sticking with me. So I'm down 70 pounds. I got about 20 more to go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Good shit, man.
Thank you.
You're preparing for a marathon right now too, right?
Well, I just finished. Where is it? Right here. Hold on. I just I finished the half marathon just a couple days ago.
Hell yeah! Congratulations.
Thank you. It's my second official, fourth overall, and then it got me to. I signed up for 2 more. I'm doing one in Iceland in October. Crazy.
Oh, shit, it's gonna be cold out there.
Yeah. Well, it's the same same as New York.
I'm
really.
kidding.
It's kind of like
I know it. Yeah. Iceland, Greenland, you gotta flip them.
I'm a big boy. We've been trying to lose weight, and then this guy too. He didn't even know how to run as a child. He had to learn how to run.
Yeah, I forgot it for a second. Like I didn't like the feeling of when you like separate the thighs when they're rubbing. So I would run, but it'd just be below the knees would be moving. So like my thighs would stay the same.
Some teacher had to tell him like you put your head forward and your body will fucking go forward.
That's
like
really funny.
But I think that's the way to get these pounds off. Like I'm 5'10" and freaking 260, man. And I'm trying to
Tinder, 6 foot.
Yeah,
wow.
Tinder, you got to add the extra 2 inches.
That's
for real.
So the issue for me is that I grew a lot when I was about 18 or 19, from like 5'7" to 6'5", and I was crazy thin. And what happened was I was over 100 pounds lighter than I am now. Like I was like 160. And my innards were not strong enough to support me. So my heart couldn't pump blood to my whole body. So if I ran a block, I started getting felt like I was getting a heart attack and I just couldn't run. So it wasn't until I was like 22 that I was able to actually move my body without feeling like I was going to pass out.
Damn.
You didn't do athletics in high school, like basketball?
When I was younger, it all happened like from the big spurt. I was like 5'7" when I entered high school, but around 16 or 17, so junior year, senior year, somewhere like that, is when the big growth spurt happened. It was 6 inches in less than a year, and that's when I couldn't do anything anymore. It was wild.
In our town, literally, that's the only qualification. Like if you're in a bar, like we don't have much to do out here in Bakersfield. So like if you're just a tall guy in the bar, you kill it.
Guys, I'm gonna be rude for a second. I think I told you the dog is freaking out. I'm gonna bring a really weird dog to sit in my lap. Just give me 1 minute. I apologize.
Yeah, no worries. God damn, dude, that's a fucking lot to grow.
Yeah.
What would you do to gain 6? I told you he's gonna come. Fucking doubter. How much dick to height ratio would you give up to gain an extra inch in height?
Not much, man. Not much to work with.
You don't have much to work with.
So I'm taking care of an 18-year-old blind, hairless dog.
Oh, shit.
Right?
Dang.
Oh my God.
It's crazy. Right? She can't see shit, and she's totally blind, and she just got totally blind. So if she's alone. Dog? No, it's not my dog. My one of my best friends, it's his 10-year wedding anniversary, and he went to Italy with his wife and asked me to take care of the dog. And I didn't realize she's fully blind now. So now it requires way too much work. She needs like eye drops 3 times a day. And you can't, if you walks around, she just bumps into walls. It's fucking heartbreaking.
You think you meant like, I'm gonna need you to take care of her.
like rub her out. Yeah, I feel bad. She is so sweet, but I mean, just look at her. She looks like Gizmo or something. I don't know. Like, look at her. She's crazy.
That's nightmare fuel right there.
Yeah, she really is crazy, but she's sweet. She just look at her, poor thing. So if I leave the room for a minute, she starts crying, and she was sleeping, so I thought we'd be safe. But I think she heard my loud voice and woke up and started screaming.
Yeah, small dogs have people anxieties, man. They have like issues.
It's like the opposite. Like people get a dog for like their anxieties, but the small dogs, I think they need people.
Oh my God, it's crazy. She is definitely a lot. I haven't slept in 3 days because she is crazy. But what are you gonna do? Sorry. Anyway,
do you have kids?
No, you know what's crazy? I just had Craig Robinson on on SDR, and I said to him the same thing as me. He's 51. I'm 52. We're both single, never married, no kids, which is really rare, I feel.
I'm heading that direction, man. I've dated, like, I had my little spree. I don't know. It's nothing close to like I've heard just stories.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm human garbage. That's the difference.
That's what I mean.
There's no difference. Trust me, he's human garbage too.
And that's my thing. I'm heading towards being like, I'm getting comfortable being that older single. I'm just turned 30.
I'm fine with it. The truth is, like, first of all, I fucking love being alone, right? Like, it's funny.
Yeah.
Big J said something to me that really hit home, which was that he doesn't remember the last time he got to put something on TV at home without a discussion, because it's him and his girlfriend, and he doesn't just want to put on something that he wants to put on. God forbid his kid's over, so he doesn't get that choice. And I'm like, wow, I never even thought about that. I never have to think about, can I put this on right now, or do I need to have a meeting about it? And I really believe the only reason why you have kids is so someone takes care of you when you get older, so that you do what I'm doing right now.
I feel that. Yeah, I feel that.
And I have nephews or nieces, rather, that I'm pretty close to. And I already told them, look, in about 20 something years, 30 years, you're going to have to take care of me. And just so you know, I did that with my uncle. My uncle passed away in September. And for the last 2 years of his life, I paid all of his bills. I went to his house 2-3 times a week and made sure he was okay until he passed. And, someone will do that with me.
Yeah, I got the same thing, like with my wodie. We have our shows that we watch together. Mm-hmm. And then every time I'm going to put something on that she doesn't want to watch, she's like, just on her phone, and the volume's always up. I'm like, God damn it. All right, fine. I'll turn it to one of our shows.
That's really funny. Yeah, it's something as stupid as that, or where you want to go for dinner or whatever. I've gotten very used to, especially at 52, very used to autonomy, where I don't have to have a conversation. If I'm going to go on a date, I'm telling us where we're going for dinner, and I get to make that decision all the time. So, I guess it sounds very selfish, but I'm pretty fucking happy. I don't know.
That's what, like, when you date, that's what I mean. People have to adjust to your schedule, right? Like that they have to like hop on this train that's going like this. And if you can't,
I think it is what it is. I don't know. Like, I feel like it is so vilified, the idea of being 50 and single in this culture. But I find marriage to be an antiquated ideology. Like, the girl takes your name, because she couldn't live on her own without you. It just seems so fucking ridiculous to me. It just, the good thing is the tax break. That's really it, I think.
Is it really? So I'm already divorced, and when we filed our taxes, we didn't even get, we had to pay that year.
Well, you pay, but you can deduct more as a couple than you can as a single. So that's really the main.
That was the first year that I've actually filed my taxes.
Well, there you go.
Allegedly, because allegedly I might have claimed a kid that wasn't mine. And
was it your co-host? Is that what happened?
Yeah,
there's one out there.
Speaking of your dating, your strategy, I was telling my boy over here, you don't go on Tinder really. You just message.
I'm too old for Tinder. So the problem with all the dating apps, I don't do well on Tinder, Hinge, Bumble. I'm on them, but I don't close deals on them ever because I'm too old. I'm 52. Yeah. They're not looking for 50-something-year-old guys. I clean up on Facebook and Instagram. That's where I kill. I do my best work on Facebook and Instagram, because there you're not some creep trying to get in their pants. You're just some dude that has the same friends as them, and it just makes it easier. And it's a harmless intro, like, hey, how's your weekend going? Or something. Yeah, just stupid shit like that. Or the best one is like, if a girl posts that she ate sushi somewhere, let's use this as an example, because I happen to love sushi. And I respond with, hope you're having a good weekend. By the way, that place is good, but I could show you great sushi if you're interested. 90% of them go unanswered, but 10% of them go answered, so who cares? Much better than the old days of having to walk across a crowded bar, get humiliated, and walk back to your friends with no phone number. That was horrible.
That's our Saturday night sometimes.
Yeah, those suck.
This guy's always waiting.
I can hit on those nights when you go out to a bar. What are you going to meet? Maybe 5 girls you're attracted to, if you're lucky, that are single. On Instagram, you could hit on 100 girls, and while you're taking a shit, it's so easy.
That's your strategy, right? You do it's a numbers game, basically. Huh?
Yeah. And I'm I don't ever lie to girls that I pretend I love you. I haven't said I love you to a girl other than this girl in my lap right now. I've told her I love her. I feel so bad for her, but
that's probably one of the ugliest bitches you've ever said I love you to. Huh?
Yeah, I said she's the oldest girl to ever be in my bed, because even though she's 18, in dog years, I was like, oh, wait a minute, 18. Yeah, she is the oldest girl to ever been in my bed.
That's a topic.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. So my wodie, she's 29. Okay. And I was thinking about telling her that she's the oldest lady I've ever slept with, because it used to be 28. I had like this 28-year-old back when I was 17. You know how we do, but I was thinking about telling her that, and I don't think she'd like it.
I don't think she'd like it at all. What's the end game on that one? Hooray for me. I mean, that's not what she's. It is what it is. I tend to stick in
terrible fucking title belt to hold.
And it's only going to get worse, I imagine. She'll hold that for eternity. 25 to 35 is my wheelhouse, I would say.
Okay, I was going to ask, what do you feel about like older women?
Yeah, I don't really. The eyes and the heart want what they want, So I don't know. I don't swipe on. I don't DM a girl that I'm like, oh, that girl looks 22. Let me hit on her. It's a hit on a girl that I'm attracted to, and sometimes that girl's 23. Sometimes she's 40, but most of the time it tends to be between 25 and 35.
Right.
I try to pretend. Say again.
Oh, sorry. I have to ask. The fucking Dave episode, man. The fucking Dave episode.
You know that he started to lose it. I mean, obviously he's already lost his mind, but on a side note, he did something really crazy that I talked about a couple weeks later, which is he started pretending he was the booker for the SDR show, and he was reaching out to rock stars that I happen to be friends with one of them. So I don't know how many people he did it to. And the dude called me. He's like, dude, just asked me to do the show again. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's playing this guy, Dave. I was like, Dave, I have no idea. And he sent me a link. I'm like, fuck. So I had to DM the guy and say, look, do not represent the show. The story behind that show, I don't know where he came from originally for the first episode. I wasn't there for the first part. Right. Laney found him somewhere. I think Laney posted something online, be a guest on the SDR show. And he was one of the people that responded. I'm not really sure. I watched the first episode. I was like, I had to. What I felt was going to be funny, and it worked to some degree.
Oh no! Trust me, it was hilarious.
But I was hoping for closure. I was hoping his girlfriend would get him aroused, and we could get the game finished, which was how long he could keep a fleshlight on his erect penis. That was the idea. If he could hold it up on his own. But he could never get aroused again. But the whole thing was it was fucking a train wreck. But it was like one of those things you couldn't stop watching.
Yeah, I listen to every podcast when I'm at work, and I was at work just howling, laughing. Like my coworker came, he's like, "Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "No, nothing. I'm just listening to this podcast."
It was insane.
The fucking funniest episode I've ever listened to. I've listened to a lot of the SDR. Most of them have been just the porn stars. Some of the comedians. Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's so funny because it's amazing how I always think porn stars equal ratings. People like listening to porn stars, but there's equal amount of people like stop bringing on the fucking dumb porn stars. I find that finding that mix. Sometimes it's rock stars, porn stars, comedians, clusterfuck. Episodes like the Dave episode. I love that mix. I love the idea that you don't know what's going to happen this week when you listen to the SDR show. Is it going to be batshit crazy? Are there going to be guys pulling out their dicks? Or is it going to be like, I always refer to, there was a great episode with DMC of Run DMC who talked about wanting to kill himself. It was like a really powerful episode. So I just love, you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, I like that too. Yeah. So some of your people, like the porn stars, I noticed on the Romy episode, like, is Romy just dumb?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, like, does that happen a lot with like when you bring certain people on?
Yeah, sometimes like we had a girl on. Gigi Dior, I want to say her name was. She was on a couple weeks ago. She was great, beautiful and
Was that
fun
the
and funny. The older chick,
lady?
yeah.
Okay,
She was great. And then that girl that I'm in love with, that girl Laura Desiree, that she was on, and she was the like host for like a password game show that me and Jay played against. I think it was the Dad Meat guys. I could be wrong, but she was gorgeous and funny and great. Like that happens once in a while where they knock it out of the park. And then sometimes you get a Romy, or you get one of these girls who just isn't either not following along or deer in the headlights. And you either have to start talking to them less or figuring out a way to bring them into the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because on that one specifically, Jay was giving her signs like, oh, how's it gonna get hard? And she's like, fuck, I don't know. But I get it too, because he was just stroking his dick.
They got
that was
fluffers like
wild.
on set. They have like people ready to go. People take care of that.
Yeah,
it was really a wild thing to, I was in Miami watching that first episode, and I was like, what the fuck is this dude doing? It was crazy. But I don't mean to talk ill will about anybody, but he had to be blocked across all social media because I guess the episode did really well. He started getting a lot of interest, and he wanted to start coming on every week. I'm like, dude, we can't bring you. First of all, you stained the chair with cocaine. It was just too much. And then the girl wanted the episode taken down because she said she changed her mind. She didn't want to do that. She would seem very with it at the time. Nobody forced her to do anything, but it definitely was a chaotic episode. It really was wild.
Their whole story was batshit insane.
I felt like every question led us down another rabbit hole of insanity. Like I was afraid to ask any follow-up questions. I'm like, what's going to happen next?
Who's going to be dead now?
Yeah, it was nuts. He was my stalker. Then we started dating. Then he was dating my roommate. And I mean, it was fucking crazy.
It was bad shit. After I saw that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go on Instagram and I'm going to message Ralph. And so I just said, yo. And I was like, oh shit, Ralph replied. So I don't know if your nigga told you what happened, but
no, he emailed me and said, this dude wants you on a show. I'm a firm believer. I have two people that run social media for me because I'm really bad at it. So I take pictures.
On there for the DMs. You're like,
yeah,
you're going
really. That's the rule, by the way, is that they can look at the DMs that aren't from, there's the regular inbox and then there's the requests. They can look at the requests, but they can't look at the other side. And that's there because I don't want them just seeing my pathetic attempts of hitting on women all day, which is all it is, So there's like nothing's going to be gained from that.
Out there. Let everybody know your style. But
one time, Jay and I we read my DMs to some porn star came in, and I had been DMing with her on Instagram, so her and I just read back and forth my horrible trying to fucking take her out. It was mortifying.
That's terrifying. I would not want somebody.
It was mortifying. It really was. Yeah, but what are you
have you
do?
ever used the I'm ordering a pizza line? What's your favorite topping? That was how I used to do it on the app. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this. Like I'm heading home, I'm gonna order a pizza. Girl's on Tinder. She's not doing much. She's talking to you, and then she's like, you know what? I want some pizza.
I'm saying I have a Hail Mary line that I recommend to people all the time. It's worked to me enough times. If it's a girl that you had been texting with for a while and you've gotten nowhere, right? So now it ain't happening, right? It's not, you tried, you got a number, maybe you took her out once, you didn't connect, whatever the fuck. I've got a crazy idea. How about you get a hot girlfriend and the three of us go away for a weekend, right?
Oh, shit.
It's a what the fuck kind of crazy asshole. And then the worst thing that'll happen is you're still not fucking the girl. So who cares? But I'd say it worked maybe 3 times in my life. And I ended up having a fucking threesome weekend with her and her hot girlfriend. Because I was like, well, how dare this fucking guy do this? Like, who the fuck did he go? We're going to show him. Yeah, like, how dare he? And it just works. You never know. Especially, I think every single female on the planet is attainable given the right circumstances.
Yeah,
they just broke up with their boyfriend. Yeah, whatever it is, like, I'm in a bad mood. You made a joke that made them laugh. Whatever the fuck it was. Yeah. And one of my friends, in her prime, there's an actress, she's older now, but they're talking about like 25 years ago. She broke up with 50 Cent, and he happened to meet her that night. It's Vivica Fox. And he's not a great looking dude. You probably don't know who she is. You're too young, but She was in Independence Day. She was dating 50 Cent.
I
In her prime, she was gorgeous. And she was walking out of a club, and whatever 50 Cent's real name is, I forget what it is, but he said, she looked upset. He goes, let's say your name. His name's Daryl. I don't know what his name is. Let's just say
Jackson.
It's something Jackson, Curtis Jackson, right? Yeah.
Curtis,
so he said, as she walked out of the club, she looked upset. He goes, what, did Curtis fuck up again? And she started laughing. And then next thing you know, he ended up fucking her. So, and he wasn't a good looking dude at all. He just had a good line at the right time.
True. The right place at the right time.
Yeah. And also, by the way, a girl that said no a year ago might be in a different place a year later. You know, don't stalk people. But if you had a little bite with someone,
yeah, I got you.
My favorite line to a girl that says she has a boyfriend is, I'm not wishing any, I hope you stay happy for the rest of your life. But if you do break up, I'd like to be the third person to find out about it.
Oh,
meaning
okay.
her boyfriend, then me. And
my plan was to lose some like at least like a good amount of body fat, and then go after the ones that they kind of gave me like the
well, I'm going to tell you this: girls, thank God, don't care about guys' shapes for the most part. They really don't. We care physical; they care mental. That's the basic difference between men and women. It really is.
Okay.
Okay. Girl's freaking out here. Give her a little camera time again. Hold on.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Old bitch up here. What's her name?
Her name is Dottie. I think she's 18.
Damn.
Yeah, she's
crazy.
Pushing it. She's pushing it.
But she's still pretty active. I give her credit. Like, it's wild.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I thought it'd be considered animal cruelty, so I didn't put it up. But watching her walk around the house just bumping into walls is hilarious and sad. But I feel like people would get upset at me if I put that up on Instagram because it looks like animal cruelty.
Yeah. So how's the studio remodel going?
It's chaos. You know, I go every day and meet with the contractor and have arguments. Literally yesterday, they put one of the air conditioning units in the wrong wall.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, it's in the wrong wall. He's like, no, it's not. I'm like, all right, let's meet there and go look at the fucking plans and look at the wall. And that's what we did. And he looks and he just goes, all right, I guess I'm going to move it. I was like, yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
He didn't put one in the production room. I mean, so the producers with the door closed in a soundproof room, it will be 1,000 degrees in there and it'll be stuffy. Yeah. And we're in a basement, so it'll smell. So he's going to move it today. But I'd say we'll bring the staff in mid-May, but the actual studio space will be done in June because so much of that equipment is special order, especially in the world that we live in now. It takes longer to get. Furniture takes longer to get. But as long as I can get the staff back in to start editing and shit like that, will be much better.
There you go. Yeah, because I was seeing the videos you've been posting, and it looks like chaos. And I was wondering what is taking so long. Like, I understand getting the material, especially right now. You know, everything's fucking back ordered, but because I do construction.
The longest part of this puzzle is that we have no permits and we're doing it on the down low.
Hell
so
yeah.
It's got to be done in little spurts, you know, so that's the biggest delay. Plus, the woman that was there before us destroyed the place. She literally put like food in the ceiling to get animals up there, to get rats and shit. And she like built out some crazy, we had to destroy the place. We had to totally demo everything to the studs to start over. And even some of the support beams had been rotted through and needed to get replaced. So that delayed us at least a week and a half. Was
she like trying to get like free rent or something? Or?
She had a big fight with the landlord and she was mad and she got COVID and then didn't pay the rent for a year and a half. And, you know, then we finally got, we've been trying to get this middle space for 4 years since we took over the studio space. We had there's 3 lots there. We had the one side and the other side, and she was in the middle, and she fucking hated us. She would ask us not to walk back and forth. I'm like, how am I supposed to not go talk to my ad sales team? There, I got to cross your fucking store. So weird. So she's gone. Thank God.
Hell yeah. Well, I can't wait to see what the new studio looks like when it's fucking up and running.
Yeah. I'm hoping June. It's just, you know, you want to get higher end computers that it's harder to find graphics cards now because of fucking crypto. So it just, everything is everything's a challenge. It is what it is. You know, running any business, any podcast, it's all the fucking challenge and it's all relative. You get used to doing more shit and getting more and more stressed and just accept it for what it is. You know, I try not to get too angry. Things just happen. So don't get freaked out about things you can't control.
Yeah.
All right.
So going for the theme of the podcast, We always talk about something dumb that we've done recently. Gabe,
besides me shitting my pants.
That was recent?
I know, it was a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay. Gabe, have you done anything dumb?
No, I'm in a spot where I need insurance, man. I keep putting myself in all these dangerous situations. I feel like I'm gonna break my leg or arm every single day, dude.
Well, you go to jiu-jitsu every single day.
I know, dude. That's what I'm like. I need to start running or doing some other thing that's not so freaking dangerous, man.
I don't want to say illegally got insurance. This is nothing that I have now. Now I have a different insurance.
They're all
but like this is 15 years ago. I was able to join like an organization, like let's say the fucking Contractors of America, whatever the fuck it was. I just paid the initiation fee and they let me become a member for the reason that I got insurance, and they would charge like maybe 2% extra. And so I'd pay them and they would pay it. But I was able to get insurance at a relatively good rate because I was, so there's organization, there's underhanded ways to get legal insurance.
Yeah, you got to scam the system, allegedly.
Allegedly.
So I did something dumb 2 days ago or Wednesday.
Let's hear it.
Oh man, I brought the subject of my wodie losing weight, and I was
just keep attacking her.
The dumbest things I've done in a long, like top tier dumb. Like the household has been tense to say the least. Have you ever been in that experience where you needed your wodie to lose some weight?
Again, I'm trying. So it's funny, like just like you said, you told her. By the way, I never heard the term wodie before in my life, but I'm assuming it means girlfriend or wife.
Yeah, it's your woman.
Right? Yeah, I never heard that term. Is that like an acronym for something or no?
I don't know. It's just your wodie.
I never heard that term. I'm too old, I guess. But
dude, start using it. People will love it.
Just what you want, a 52-year-old white guy saying wodie. Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand when you tell her she's got to lose weight. How did you think it was going to go? Thank you for telling me.
No, I just thought it'd be more of a conversation, not just immediate tears and anger.
Yeah. I mean, just like saying that she's the oldest girl you ever fucked. Like, what's the positive end game?
That one yet. All right.
I just don't see the positive end games on these. What I would say is, hey, I have a great idea. Why don't we start running together?
Yeah, that would have been a smarter thing, but we call it dumber every day for a reason, because I'm not ashamed to say I'm not the smartest guy, and neither is this motherfucker.
I mean, I've done a lot of dumb shit in my life. I'll give you one that sticks out. It's years ago, but it's one of the dumbest things I ever did. I was a hacker when I was a kid. I was wanted by the FBI when I was 15, right? They came to my house. It was nuts. But everyone had cool hacking names. Like there was this guy Kilroy and a guy Magician Humphrey and all these fucking guys we would deal with and talk to. And my brother and I used the name Sutton Brothers, which is our name. And we didn't think that might come back to haunt you. That might be a problem. Might make it easier to find you if you use your actual last name. So that was pretty stupid, I would say.
Dang. Were you trying to do something with your hacking, or just trying?
We did a lot of shit. We would do shit like again, this is pre-internet because I'm fucking old. This is when there was things called BBSs and you'd log in directly to like a school or whatever. Not everybody there was no online. You would just connect to a one thing at a time. You'd call the school, you'd call the library, and you'd connect. So we would change our friends' grades. We would lower our phone bill. We would do shit like that, like just nonsense,
Yeah,
but
this is the Wild West of the internet.
Yeah, it's a long time. It just like when Bluetooth first came out, nobody had passwords on their Bluetooth. So I had an app on my phone. I had a fucking Palm Pilot phone, and it would look around the room for people who did not have passwords on their Bluetooth. And I would just start sending messages, listening to their conversation, just fucking around, and I would do dumb shit like that because it made me laugh. I would never do anything evil. I still, to this day, I can call anybody from any phone number. It's very easy to do. So I can have, it's so easy to just have a different phone number show up on the caller ID. So sometimes I'll call friends of mine, like one of my best friends for his birthday. I called him from what his parents' phone number was when we were 10 years old. I called him and he answered. He goes like, hello? Like he was confused. I said, Maurice, I'm stuck in 1982. Fucking help me. And he's like, what? Like, it took him a minute. Like, he's like, what the fuck is going on? Most people don't know how to do that shit. I can email you from any email address I want. And then when you hit reply, it'll come to me and you have no idea. Just dumb shit like that. It's fun to do. Fuck with people. I've never used my powers for evil, but I do find it funny.
And they send an actual agent to your door?
Yeah, FBI badge to the door. And can we speak to the parents of Ralph and Joe Sutton? And my father had to get a lawyer, but I was underage, and we were supposed to go to juvenile hall, and then they said there was a $300,000 fine and a 3 years in jail and blah blah blah. But we got off on because we were kids, and my father got a good lawyer because we were rich Jews.
They're just fucking around. They're just fucking around.
Yeah, pretty wild. I have the funny a running gag on SDR is Jay never believes me with shit because I have so many weird fucking things that happened in my life that sometimes will just come up, like when he was doing the a show about what's it called, 21 Jump Street, and he was promoting it for a while, and then one day I'm like, you know what, I just remembered, like I was on an episode of 21 Jump Street when I was a kid. He's like, what the go fuck yourself. And then I found the episode, and you could see me in the background walking through the camera. Like obviously
how
me.
did you get on the episode?
I was in Florida. They were saying they were looking for extras. My brother and I were like, hey, we're 5 blocks away from there. Let's just go over and see what happens. They picked us to be in. And just as Richard Grieco was walking in with Dom DeLuise's son, I forgot his name, my brother and I walking right next to them. It just happened perfectly. And you could clearly see me on camera. You only see, I have no speaking part or anything, but I'm on the episode.
Did you get paid?
Say again? No, we didn't get paid. We were there for like 4 hours, and just, at the time it was the hottest show in the country. You get to be on an episode of 21 Jump Street. They're just like, I have told this story a million times. I DJ'd for the 9/11 terrorists at a strip club. That's weird, And the FBI came there. There's a lot of fucking.
The FBI deserves me fucking stalking you.
It's crazy. They had them on camera. They had their credit cards. It was the Saturday before the Tuesday.
Oh man! So where were you during 9/11? If you don't mind, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I remember the story I've said, which is nuts, is that one of the girls asked one of those guys, what do you do for a living? And he said he was an airline pilot, which is already creepy. And then when he was leaving, he told her, hey, stay out of New York next week. And she was like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? And then it turned out to be advice. She did. Well, she lived in Jersey, so it didn't matter. But I remember her saying, like, what a fucking weird thing for a guy to say at the time. And then 3-4 days later, it's like, holy shit, that's crazy.
I have something. It's not exactly to the extent of that, but it's kind of similar. My because I work construction, my foreman right now, he's actually facing a murder charge. They arrested him. Dude, it's wild. There's like they found parts of the body in the Kern River. Like so far they've located the head and the arm of the guy.
Jeez.
And
do you think he did it?
I don't know. Maybe he had tweaker face where it's like all picked at and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was working with him the day he got arrested. Like the cops came to the job site.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. He's the foreman?
Yeah, he was the foreman.
The boss. Yeah, crazy.
That's fucking nuts. And so if you had to bet money on whether he's guilty or not, what would you say?
He's like, he's a nice guy.
It's a safe bet to say, yeah.
He did it. Oh, shit. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild.
It is wild. You can look it up. It's they're in trial right now. He just took the stand, and he's no. Wait, what am I saying? I just found out. Yes, he did it. He literally drove the cops to find where the rest of the body was.
He did it. That's fucking cool
as
shit. You worked with a murderer. I love it.
Yeah, and so the cops, they came the day we were working overtime, but that was on a Monday that they came. It was a Saturday. The Saturday right before that, it was me and him. Nobody else wanted to work overtime except for me. So me and him, we're out there, we're pulling wire, we're getting shit done. And he's like, hey man, go put these fans back in my truck. His truck was an SUV, it wasn't a truck. But I threw the fans back there and there was a backpack and a tent. Like this dude was ready to bounce at any given moment.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then he tells me, he's like, hey, if you want some more work, I got some work at the house. Just text me when you get home. And so I get home, like, hey man, like I get home, I start drinking a couple beers and I don't feel like working anymore. And I was like, hey man, I'm home, but these beers are telling me that the day is done. And he's like, all right, understandable. But I'm left wondering the entire time, like, what did he want me to do? Like,
so wait, it was a Saturday and the day he got arrested was the Monday.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fucking crazy.
It was It was wild. And then everybody's
imagine if it was like, I need you to move these bags and put them somewhere, and then you became an accomplice. How cool would that have been? You got arrested.
That would not have been cool. That would have been the opposite of cool.
That would have been awesome. That would have been wild. Jesus Christ.
That would have been wild. But yeah, so I'm always just wondering, like, what did he want me to do?
Yeah, I bet you that would have been it. Hide this body. By the way, the dumbest things I've done is taking care of this dog because I've not slept in 3 days because of her. I got her for 4 or 5 more days.
Do you have a yard?
Peaceful, right? Huh? No, it's in Manhattan. But she doesn't, a fucking half a block walk for her is like running a marathon. She can barely move.
Up and down the stairs too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Crazy.
man. So nothing done from you, Gabe?
Say again?
I was asking if
I'm trying to think if I did anything. I'm trying to think of any other dumb shit. I mean, I do dumb shit all the time. My business partner is Louis J. Gomez. I can't do much dumber than that, but that's it is what it is. But
you know what's funny, Ralph? The first time I ever had like what is it, that syndrome, like starstruck, which is hilarious, was Louis J. Gomez on the curb of the comedy store. I never seen. That was my first time at the comedy store, and me and my friends were looking for like a lighter. And there's like a group of people surrounding, they all look like me. They're all chubby dudes with glasses, all surrounding Louis J. Gomez. And I saw him and then I literally like it was like literally a starstruck moment. And then the whole show was skanks over there in LA. So it was
I remember that was a big one, right? Yeah, that was
yeah. Christine was like sitting right behind me and like on some table. Joey Diaz walked by. I was just like, oh my God,
I stand by the fact that I think 70% of Louis's male fans want to fuck him. I really believe that.
I'd roll him. We do some jujitsu.
I think they either want to fuck him or be him. One or the other. It's really wild.
Oh man,
it's really wild. Are you guys Skank fans? Are you guys Skank fans also? Is that where you came into the network?
Yeah, we're Skank fans, but I wish I could go to fucking Skank Las Vegas, but I just went to Vegas. For a wedding. So
are you going to be out there in the Skank Fest?
Yeah, I'm sure I will. I think last year I only stayed for like 24 hours, but this year I'll probably stay the whole time. I feel like it's the right thing to do.
Crazy, like insane.
It's great, but dude, I'm fucking 52, right? So my drinking and partying days are on the other side of me. I don't fucking care anymore. My drug is getting up early and feeling good. These guys my staff rule is, I understand you all do drugs in front of me. Can you not deal drugs in front of me? That's the only thing that's my only rule in the studio. But they're all do so much fucking drugs. And it's because they're all in their 30s, or early 40s. Like Louis just turned 40. But they're not going to want to do, if they're still doing that when they're my age, they're going to be dead. That's what's going to happen. So
you doing drugs. I know you guys have like a set, like you and Big J. Have you guys determined what your next drug is going to be?
So TJ Miller wants to come back and do whippets with us.
Oh,
and then a bunch of other guys wanted to do GHB with us. And I said it was my 5-year plan to finally rape Jay. That's why we're doing that one. It was a long play on that. But
that's already loose with a gun. So
yeah, the reason why I like the idea of whippets is they last 30 seconds. All the other drugs last so fucking long. So I would be down to try that, to try a 30-second drug.
Can I suggest salvia?
I think Jay did it and hated it. So I think that's why we don't. He hated DMT, which only lasts 15 minutes. It didn't click well with his antidepressant. It didn't do anything for him. So, also, I don't want a drug that's going to last hours. It's just fucking hard for me. So I think I do think Whippets ticks all the boxes. We have a bunch of like rock stars and like the guys from this guy Jelly Roll, who did the show a while ago, wants to come and do a drug. He wants to do a drug with us, and the band Hollywood Undead, the singer, wants to come in and do the drug with us. So we may make it just some ridiculous episode where everybody comes in and we all just fucking do drugs together.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
So have you ever tried salvia though?
No, I don't do anything. I'm the biggest pussy in the world. I've only done the drug on the show. I've never done any of these drugs afterwards. I jokingly say, it's true. There's leftover cocaine, Molly, weed. It's all just sitting in my house for years because I don't do it. It's just sitting here, Right. So I don't fucking care. Like I barely drink. If I have 2 drinks in a month, it's the only time I ever drink is on the SDR show when it's a game that requires me to do a shot. Yeah. So I'll do it. But other than that, maybe 2 drinks a week. at most.
Would you say like dating women's your drug? Like women?
Yeah, for sure. I'd say that dating and food are my two vices. Those are the things that bring me the biggest joy in my life. And I guess running now, which makes me sound like a real puss, but those three things, yeah, it makes you sound like a real puss. I get it. But, I did lose 70 pounds. And I think I'm at a point where I almost look younger than Jay, and he's 12 years younger than me. So.
Yeah. No, you do look a lot younger than you used to.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, for sure. And I will, when I lose it, I'm going to lose another 15, 20 pounds probably by the end of the year. And, I just feel better. That's the point. I say what you want about it. It just fucking is what it is. I sleep better. I don't fucking wake up with like sleep apnea nonsense where your own snores wake you up kind of shit, all that's gone. So thank God.
Hell yeah.
You think you'll get Big J to start running with you or any?
What's funny? He makes fun of me so much. And I say, why is it always the people that can't run a block make fun of me for running a fucking half marathon? It's never guys in shape making fun of me ever.
Man,
but he's also lost weight.
He's lost a lot of weight. He looks great. I look at pictures of us from when we started the show. He lost a human being. He's so much thinner now, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught the basketball game.
Oh God, that was right. First of all, like TJ, Tim Dillon loves to shit on my running all the time too. I mean, he lost a lot of weight too, but the dude can't run, so it is what it is. The basketball game was hilarious because Jay is delusional with his abilities. He's far better than I'm terrible at basketball, but
that game was, they were winded immediately.
But also what's funnier is the last time he did a basketball bet was when he told Lewis, you're not going to get a point. A point. And it was over. We had this whole production team go down to the park. Everybody's ready. It's over in 30 seconds. A friend of mine showed up and said, hey, when is it starting? I'm like, it's already over. Lewis got his first basket in, and the game was over. That's it.
He's insane.
I think that I don't know if it's drunk delusional nonsense or I don't know what it is, but I mean, or he just likes guns in his ass. It's any one of those things. I don't know, but I get the idea of giving someone a 5-point lead or a 10-point lead on a 20-point game, but you ain't going to get 1 point in basketball. Anybody has an idiot's chance of getting a ball in a basket. Anybody.
There's so many videos of people just throwing the ball half court and it goes in.
Yeah, there's a game like that. Like even like I would say, I can't fight, right? But I'm a big dude. I'm 6'5". If you're 5'7" and you're a trained fighter, you're probably going to beat me. But if I get one shot in just because of my size, I can hurt you. So I have a puncher's chance in a fight. I'll probably lose 99% of the time, but I still have a chance. And this is something like that where I am confident I can get one shot off of Jay in basketball. I never play, but I'll dribble the ball till he gets winded and I'll get the fucking basket in. That's what'll happen.
So I gotta ask when, because you guys have developed a great thing, that whole Gas Digital Studios.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
When Lewis approached you,
it's funny that there's a lot of miscommunication on how this started, right?
So
the way it started was this. I had SDR, he had Real Ass Podcast, and Legion of Skanks was already existing, right? Jay and I were doing SDR. I don't remember how many listeners we had at the time, but we started. Lewis is such a fucking crazy. There's nobody better publicity and promotion and getting salesman. Yeah. He's fucking unbelievable. Wow. And loves to stream. I can guarantee if he's not streaming live on Instagram, he's on Twitch or he's doing a podcast. That is what it is. I hate doing it all, but he's great at it. No one better. We started sharing ideas on how to build your numbers on a podcast, how to get more listeners, that kind of thing. And we would just talk on the phone and we got more and more comfortable with each other. And then the idea was we were going to start a podcast bar and lounge. It was called The Pod, and it was going to be, and this might have been his idea. I don't remember, but we looked at places and to find the place with liquor license and that ticked all the boxes. It was going to be astronomically expensive. It didn't make sense. And then I had suggested, because the time I was still doing radio, my radio show was on at one point, like almost 100 stations. And the idea was a bunch of small stations, you put them together you can make a living. You know, you don't need a New York and LA or Chicago. You can do fucking small cities and you put them all together. So I said, why don't we like try, probably could sell ads for a bunch of shows. And so we morphed the idea from a podcast club to let's just start a network. I said, it'll cost nothing. I already had the studio in my home. I'm doing it for my radio show and my podcast. Let's just bring a few other shows together. And so it was part of the problem, Dave's show, Real Ass Podcast, and my show, 3 shows. And then we found Lewis knew High Society Radio, said, they would fit with the vibe here. And that's how it started. And then from there, it morphed into, we should do a network. We should kind of build something from there. So I don't remember whose idea it was. I don't know if it was his or mine, but it morphed from doing a bar together. And what's funny is, and he knows this, when we started and decided we were going to work together, people had meetings with me suggesting I don't do a business with Lewis.
Right.
That he's too crazy. Yeah. And first of all, you can't teach hunger. He's fucking gotten to more hunger than anyone I know. But also, I had the same experience with a friend of mine. I helped build his company called Juice Press. It's a raw vegan organic company, and I'm doing the Good Sugar. We're opening up a store together. I'm a minor investor, but I watched his hunger because of his daughter. And I felt the same way with Lewis, with his son, that he wants to give that son a great life. He's an incredible father. And I'm like, that dude wants to give his son a great life. His work ethic will come through for sure. And I knew it. And that's what happened. So we work well together because things he loves to do, I hate doing, and things he hates to do, I love doing. So we work well together.
Yeah. Lewis hates squirt on the table. You're
By the way, it's crazy that this guy who's all about shoving guns in butts and all this other stuff doesn't like that. But I get it. I said to him, like, when he called me angry about it, I was like, look, you're right. It shouldn't have happened, but I think I'm going to try and build back a small studio in my home.
It's the SDR show.
Right. I get it. So I think, but I understand why for rentals and stuff, you don't want jizz on a table. I get it. So even if you clean it.
No jizz, but squirt,
Yeah. So I'm going to probably, once it's all done at the studio, I'm going to rebuild a small studio in my house so that, on the jizz filled episodes or squirt episodes, we can do it in my home.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah. The new rule is as long as there's no bodily fluid, it's fine.
Oh, okay. How is was he upset about the Dave thing, like with the ass juice?
That was the episode that launched that episode that pushed him over the edge. And I get it. I get it. I said, like, I get it.
I thought it was a different one. It was like a fat girl that broke a
That
table.
was a couple years ago. That was a couple years ago. That was our last argument. So now what I think we were going to do these 2 girls having a squirt for distance contest, but we were going to do it outside because it's nice out. So there's not so bad, we do it outside.
Area.
Yeah, there's an area outside that is away from everybody, and we were going to do it there. That way it's not in the studio.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I am looking forward to all of the squirt episodes.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like, he got so mad. He was like, just do a normal show. I'm like, dude, this is our normal show. This is what we do. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So ridiculous. But yeah, they put guns in butts, that a dude suck his own dick. Like, they've done a lot of weird shit.
Yeah, and they got in trouble for that because it was at the
stand. Yeah. I had a big fight, text fight with Ari once because Ari wanted to bring a real gun. He wanted to bring a real gun.
Yeah, I know.
And this was during the
election,
height,
right?
Yeah, and it was during the height of Black Lives Matter. And I was like, look, he said, we had a big fight about it because the staff didn't want him to do it. And they were afraid to tell him. I said, just tell him it was my idea. I don't care. And then him and I had a big argument about it. And I was like, look, get fucking the stand to call me and tell me that they're okay with it, and we'll do it. And he got so mad. But he said, they already agreed to it. I'm like, well, let me hear it from them.
Oh, it was during the trial. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was during the trial. Yeah, it was during the trial. But I mean, a gun in the street during the height of Black Lives Matter.
No.
You're asking for problems. I don't want to fucking, whatever it is, you're asking for fucking problems.
New York's strict too.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was crazy, but whatever. It didn't happen. They brought in a fake gun, whatever. I don't remember what happened at the end of that episode.
Yeah. Well, Ralph, thank you.
Yeah, we're blown away, man, that you showed up, man.
Yeah, I really
no worries.
appreciate you
I'm a
coming on
very
the pod.
punctual guy. Yeah.
You're awesome, man. Like for real, like inspiring too for the running thing. Like for real, I need to get my body moving, dude. And like
Yeah, look,
this
I'll
thing
hold it
there,
up again.
that line with the Y too,
Hell
man.
yeah.
Yeah. Your
Is that
watch should
only
make you
medal,
cry.
or
I
do you
like
have
it.
more?
Yeah. I say again.
Is that your only medal, or do you have more?
I have two. I've run two official. I'm running another one in June, and then the one in Iceland in October.
You wear them while you're fucking just smacking them.
I should. When I have 4 or 5 of them, I'm gonna come on SDR wearing all 5 of them.
Yeah.
Rub them in Jay's face.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
that gold. Man,
I'm gonna
like,
start bringing like running girls that love runners to come on the show and
There
talk
you
about
go.
how much my running inspired them.
He'll be so mad. I think
He'd be so mad.
Edge.
In fact, we just did a Name That Tune episode with a yacht rock band where they did all yacht rock covers. Because Jay's favorite form of music is yacht rock, and I really did it to give him a win. I felt like he needed a win on the show, so I gave him a win. I knew I wasn't gonna win.
Yeah, he can't win for shit on that show. I think Shannon's
Yeah.
against him.
He really thinks, but I'm such a fucking crazy person of not wanting to know anything. Like I tell Shannon, look, that's why sometimes the games don't run so well, because she doesn't have fucking 20 years of radio experience to understand the pacing. She's gotten much better in the last couple of years, but I feel that it's because I don't get involved at all. I don't want to know how it's being run. I don't want to know, like the yacht rock set list was somewhere, and I'm like, get it out of the fucking room. I don't want to see it. When we're ready to go is a different thing. Crazy.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Also, tell Shannon I said, "Hey, yo, what's up?"
You're not big enough, or you don't have enough tattoos. You got to be 6'6" and covered with tattoo.
I'll get all of that for Shannon. No, I'm just kidding.
She'd be the oldest girl you fucked though, because she's 38, I think now.
Hey, there's always room for another title holder. You know, the belt moves from champion to champion.
You want her to be your new wodie? Is that right? Am I saying it right?
Yeah, so you're saying it perfectly.
There you go.
Okay.
But is there anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Just follow me everywhere at I am Ralph Sutton, and my 2 podcasts, the SDR Show, Good Sugar Podcast, are both available anywhere you would consume a podcast, or at gasdigitalnetwork.com. You could use the code SDR for a 7-day free trial and 20% off, but really just anywhere you want to listen is all we care about.
Hell yeah. Gabe, anything you want to plug?
No, just get out there, do some jujitsu, running, start running, everybody. Let's start running.
By the way, for weight loss, nothing beats sustained zone 2 workouts. So like jujitsu is anaerobic, running is aerobic, you know? So being in that, like they talk about like somewhat hard conversational running where you can still talk, but you're not dying, which is where I try to stay, is the best for weight loss. So you might get stronger. Yeah, it's a heart rate to fat loss ratio that works best on. Better than like sprinting, better than, you know, basketball or anything that's like tennis. Long sustained conversational running is the best for fat loss.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. This has been a great one. Follow me on all socials at Yajamobi. And do you know how we close this out?
No, I do not. I apologize.
Okay, so we're gonna count down from a number, and then we're gonna say touch yourself.
Okay.
So 1,011, 1,010. No, just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Touch yourself.
Touch yourself and smile while you're doing it. All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.